A guy named Brian Clement operates a business in Florida that involves treating people with various illnesses. But as David Ferguson reports, this guy is in quite a bit of hot water after people decided to really look into what exactly it is he does. So here's an example of that. An 11-year-old girl from Canada with cancer named Michaela Salt left chemotherapy in Hamilton, Ontario, to attend this guy Clement's business. He calls his business the Hippocrates Institute, which is a hilarious name for many reasons. Well, Michaela died. She left proven chemo treatment, right, cancer treatment, to go to this guy for alternative treatment. She died. And she died because he attempted to cure her cancer in wholly unproven and ridiculous ways. So what are his standard treatments? Well, they include veganism, herbal supplements, laser therapy, juices, raw food, and vitamins. Every one of those things would not help cure cancer in any way, shape, or form. I mean, just to take one, herbal supplements. We did the story on herbal supplements recently. They're totally unregulated. From the early 1990s, there was a bill that was passed that took the FDA out of regulating supplements. So it's the wild, wild west of so-called treatments. People can sell anything and say it does anything, and they get away with it. And by the way, there was a report that was in the New York Times a few years ago that found that the overwhelming majority of supplements, what's actually in the supplement itself is not what it says on the label. So it's one thing that what's on the label isn't proven either, right? Like even if it was what's on the label, that doesn't mean it's going to work because there's no evidence for it in most cases with the supplements. But oftentimes it's just rice powder or soy powder in a capsule that they say is something else. So it's totally placebo and it's totally fake. It's snake oil medicine. It's not true. But this guy's using that to try to cure cancer. As well, raw food and vitamins. There's other studies that we covered on the show as well, how vitamins wildly overestimated how good for you vitamins are. Most people get a sufficient amount of vitamins through a normal, healthy diet. I mean, this is anti-science bullshit. This is junk science. So perhaps it's unsurprising to learn that this guy's business is registered as a massage parlor, not a medical facility, and he's a nutritionist, not a doctor. Somebody died because this guy wants to play doctor. So Raw Story also says the following, quote, Clement denies telling the woman that he could cure the girl's cancer or that his clinic has ever made such claims. However, his institute faced charges in 1992 in Massachusetts when Clement was based in Boston. Massachusetts authorities charged Hippocrates and related institutes at least twice for claiming to cure a wide variety of serious diseases with wheatgrass juice and other alternative treatments. The state prosecutor in Massachusetts accused Clement of claiming his treatments could cure AIDS, serious burns and diabetes, cancer, and other illnesses, as well as fraudulent claims by Clement that he had been honored by the Nobel Prize Committee. So you ready for the worst part of the story? He still has a sick 11-year-old girl with him. All right, look, the inevitable conclusion, which is something we've spoken about on the show before, sometimes I get some shit from my audience when I say stuff like this, but it's true. It's not me speaking. It's the evidence speaking. Take a look at it for yourself. It's crystal clear. Look at Dawkins' special on BBC. It was part of Enemies of Reason. It was about so-called alternative medicine, but if you just type in Enemies of Reason, it'll probably come up. I don't know if it's on YouTube. It probably is. There is no such thing as alternative medicine. It doesn't exist. You know what alternative medicine would be called if it worked? Medicine. You could drop the term alternative if it was proven scientifically. If you have double-blind, peer-reviewed studies, and if it stands the test of science, then it just becomes medicine. So there is no alternative medicine. It's all bullshit. It's not true. I mean, people talk about the pharmaceutical companies ripping people off. Yes, they do, and there's many problems with the pharmaceutical companies. You know who rips you off even more? Supplement companies, alternative medicine companies. They're pure scams. At least some of the shit the pharmaceutical companies sell actually works. When you get in a car accident and they put a morphine drip in your arm, you're going to feel better. Why? It's pharmaceutical-grade morphine. It actually works. Antibiotics work. Vaccines work. There are different pills and different cures and different antiviral medications that work. So yes, Big Pharma does have problems and there are issues with the profit motive, and I'm fighting hard to get the profit motive out of our healthcare system. Anybody who watches the show knows that. I'm leading that fight, or I'm trying to lead that fight. But at least some of the stuff pharmaceutical companies sell actually works, and it's proven with science. Alternative medicine is all bullshit, and this is a perfect example of it right here.